Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, and welcome to another episode of Battle Nations Radio. Well, y'all go ahead and pop on in, and let's get comfortable here, and let's get right to it. Lots of Battle Nations news going on right now, coming up on the 1 year anniversary. This will actually be the last stream until the 1 year anniversary, and as we all know now, there's going to be a double SP weekend ahead of us. So if you missed that triple SP day, you're now granted, I believe it's going to be 48 hours of double SP, so make sure to take advantage of that if you haven't already. But yeah, that was me during the boss rush. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. What's up, Thug? What's up, Judge? How are y'all doing? Let me go ahead and get everything pulled up. We're gonna do a little base update, talk about my approach to the double SP weekend. I know I talked specifically in the BNA chat. But we'll branch out here. I want to hear what y'all think would be, good ideas for future events going forward, and talk about some ideas that were proposed to me, some things that I'm thinking might be good ideas in the future. And we're gonna get right into that, guys. I am sorry, we were doing some couch cover cleanings this weekend, so if you see that in the background, they're still drying. What's up, CE? What do you think about BNAP's rating of our guild emblem? We're actually going to talk about the guild emblem rating today. So let me try and get Discord pulled up on my computer here. And then we'll get started. Let's get some music going while I'm trying to get everything set up in the background. But there's some music. Get that a little quieter. That's fine for me. Yeah, we're going to be going over the rating. Some might say it's controversial. We'll kind of get into my thoughts and feelings on that in a little bit. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a different Discord VC open up today as well. Yeah, so let's... Guys, forgive me 1 second as I'm trying to get Discord to run on my computer here. Guys, give me 1 second. Going to be at a Pokemon TCG regional tournament, so little time again in SP days. Oh man, well, Thug, that's pretty cool. What type of deck do you use, if you don't mind me asking? I'm not super hip, but that's awesome that you play the TCG. Good luck with that. Is it regional? So is it like a statewide sort of deal, or just like state regional? I'm not exactly sure how that works. Finally got my steel full after 3 times a week. Yeah, I got so much steel I got to deal with. Guys, sorry, I'm really trying to deal with this in the background. A rogue single prize deck is regional in Indianapolis. That's cool. I've heard Indianapolis is a pretty walkable city. That's someplace I kind of want to go. But guys, you're going to have to bear with me real quick. We're going to have to be right back because I gotta get this computer thing figured out here. So stay right where you are. We will be right back. Let me get this figured out. All right, I'm back. Hopefully my computer's working now. Let me get this squared away. We've got Task Manager pulled up here. I hope in a few months to do another game. Yeah, I think they're going to expand it too. We're going to talk about that as well. All right. Yep. Discord's working now. Everything on the computer's working now, so we're good there. Steam's up. Discord's going. Just going a little slow because everything's booting up, but that's okay. And y'all could still hear me and everything, right? 1, 2, 3, test. Sorry, we're getting out to a late one here. Voice up. All right, there we go. All right, let's. Yeah, let's talk about some new events that are going on here too. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes Discord acts up, so not fun. But let's go ahead and get that as well. All right, so we got the screen shared up, and let's go ahead and read the mail here onto our 2x announcement. So, Commander, you fought valiantly and held your own against the Rush this past week. As a reward and acknowledgement for our upcoming anniversary weekend, Command has provisioned another period of enhanced SP. Expect 2x SP from May 29th, 2026 at 12 a.m. PDT until May 31st, 2026. 3 p.m. PDT. So again, that's going to be Pacific Standard, or that's going to be Eastern Standard Time, 3 a.m. on the 29th. I'm going till 2:59 a.m. on June 1st for Eastern Standard Time. And then y'all know the drill. If it is before or after, okay, got that. Yeah, so we're talking about that. And first off, I kind of want to know what y'all are ranking up. We'll do a quick overview what I'm ranking up. What I'd like to rank up, we got some stuff ranking up right now. Basically, I'm just trying to use steel to keep continuous rank ups. Not the snake, but we have the Cobra, which is promoting to R7 right now. Then we're going to go ahead and do this L7 drill to R3. I'd like to get that to R4 during this event. I think that's a fun unit to mass produce. When we have the available steel. It's a good way to burn laurels as well, in my own personal opinion. We have the melee frag, continuously going to get that up, definitely going to get that up to R5. I'm going to be traveling a little bit this weekend, but should have at least a day to work on stuff. So melee frag, that's priority number 1. We'll get that to R5. We do have defenses, so I forgot, but we do have the electric fence. We're going to get that actually ready for R2 during today's stream. We'll promote that, get that all ready, and then get that up to R3 during the double SP weekend. So those are my plans. It's going to be L7 Sandworm Drill, Melee Frag. I'm going to do we'll get the Tame Sandworm up to 4. That's not really a heavy lift. And then going to do the Mega Tank as well. Something I'm also going to do, so I was given good recommendation, and I also did lose the first time that I fought it because I didn't go in with a great strategy. We're going to do the X17 fight on double SP weekend as well, because it already gives a boatload of SP, and if we can double that, that's going to be great. That's going to be huge for all the units that we're using. So that's kind of my plan. We're going to sit in Bigfoot country. When it comes to naval, it's going to be ranking clads. Baby grouper might be done before this weekend. We're pretty close there. And then I'd like to get the R1s up to R6 at least too. But once we get those two, we're going to switch over to do the M10s and clads together. Just really get those promoted. I'm hoping y'all are kind of planning the same here on saving the naval for that. Quick base highlight here. We are slowly expanding this little suburb. The more suburban houses we get, the easier it's going to be to prestige. Thank goodness for the solar plant. That's been really helpful. We're going to continue to build out the base. We're going to also build out some parks. Just add a little more, oomph to the base. Just add a little more style to the base. Kind of build out unique districts. We're going to work on this over here. I want to do some more with that. We're going to continue to build it out. We'll replace these modern duplexes. They've served their purpose. They've been great. But just, we got to replace it with these heavy hitters of XP and resources. We're doing okay on continuously, making lumber, making concrete. So it's good to be using that resource again. But that's where we're at with that. Yeah, and real quick, want to go over in case you missed it from last week, we got one melee frag, we got the adult tame sandworm, and we got a 4th ironclad. And those were our drops from the boss rush weekend, had 3 points in total. I'm pretty happy with that, can't complain. So pretty content with that. I would have liked to see one from the ancient construct. Oh! Okay, well, actually, we're gonna have a little bit of a dreadnought fight. This will be a fun opener here, and then I promise we are going to get into events that I think are going to come up. Let's see if we can't get a 5th dreadnought here, bro. Could really use the steel as well. But let's go ahead. We're logging. We got clads for days now. What's up, Schmabo? Good to see you. I hope y'all are gonna enjoy this. We're gonna pop that Kraken tentacle in the front there. No biggie. And we're just gonna wail on this thing. Hey, Appa. I just got my 7th tentacle. That's absurd. All right, and this is the first time I've actually fought the This is the first time I've fought the Dreadnought with my my clads ranked up, so I'm pretty excited about this. And we're loading crits on. Okay, that hit that. I'm being a little Am I being a little confident here? I think I'm being a little confident. If we don't get a sync on that, I'm backing out. Yeah, that's too much. That's too much. We're probably fine, but steel, we are at very finite capacity with that, with all the promotions we're trying to do before this weekend. So just going to back out. Just make sure we have a smooth run here. That's fine. That's fine. These ironclads can really take a beating. Okay, that targeted that. Yeah, because the M10s are ranked up too. We'll be good here. That'll polish that off. Let's see what the Chargers do. If that gets a sync, we're going to let it ride, but that's quite unfortunate. Oh, man. I'm going retreat on that again, guys. I'm sorry. This is not exhilarating content. It's a good crit. It's a good start. I'm being very steel conservative right now. If that helps make sense a little bit more. That's okay. Can't believe that one made it. We'll sync that. That's a great crit right there. Love to see that. I know we're coming up on the clads here actually pretty well. Ah, yikes. Sorry guys, this is super not entertaining. Yeah, trying to get a 5th one. All right, we're gonna commit this time. It's hard not to commit with that opener. Fine. We can afford to lose teeth right now. I'm not super concerned about that. I think it was Pink. Pink, I believe, lost the drop competition, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, be in pink. Oh yeah, we're rocking and rolling now. Let's see if we can get a crit here. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Definitely not me. We made it out of there safely, which I was super content about. What's up, Headless Melon? How are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, we're rolling pretty smoothly this time. Can't really complain about any of this. That's fine. Lose one. These ironclads hit really impressively at R4 here. Even the M10s are getting there at R6. They're doing really well too. No clad. That's okay. I wish. Hey, that's a net gain. That's a heavy net gain on the steel too. I'll take that. That's what we like to see. Schmebo, thank you for the Kraken formation. The Kraken still kind of sucks to fight, if I'm being honest with you, though. So let's go that and that. We're plenty good there. Alrighty. So take a peek at the ancient ruins. I don't even think it's possible for anything to have spawned yet. Nope, not seeing that. That's okay. That was a good fight. That was a very good fight. Yeah, so let's go ahead and kind of lead. That was a fun little transition there, but let's go ahead and talk about what events we would like to see Battle Nations come out with. So my real quick prediction, my foresight for the next month is we have this event this weekend. I would say it's probably going to be pretty light for the next 3 weekends. And if y'all feel differently, please let me know in the comments down below. But I would think that the next weekend that we see something kind of big on the calendar is going to be PvP, friendless PvP. And I think my prediction is we're going to see that on the 25th. So I think that's going to be a month from now when we do that server integration. So that's my guess. 25th is that Thursday when we'll see PvP. But with that being said, put a little question out there to the guild today, and I just want to read some of these out, talk about these real quick, give my thoughts on it, and yeah, we'll go from there. So the first one, Solo Turk recommended this to me, so shout out to him, is Horde mode, unlimited waves of enemies fighting into the last unit standing, just for fun, mini event, which is great. Asked him to elaborate a little bit on that. The waves could be a mix of all enemies, so like Silver Wolves, Rebels, Raiders, maybe even throw in a random chance of an Ancient Construct in there. So super interesting. And so my thoughts on that is, that's great. A Horde event would be fantastic. You have to factor in 3 different things in my personal opinion. So number 1, I'm a big lore guy. I love the lore in Battle Nations. I would love for there to be some missions explaining the Horde event, or maybe why the Silver Wolves, the Rebels, and the Critters, or all of these guys are working together. That'd be super fun. So I'd like to see that. My next thing is okay, do you have units go to the hospital for this? Or is this, hey, you just kind of go until you can't? Yeah, you kind of go until you can't, or is this just kind of a for fun thing? So it's going to be, is there a consequence to this? It sounds like you would lose all your units anyway. So maybe they do go to the hospital, and if that's the case, then the next question becomes, hey, what's the reward for this? It's a great mini event, super fun. Maybe it's just maybe they don't go to the hospital. Maybe it's just a leaderboard challenge sort of deal, which I think would be super cool as well. Just doing a leaderboard, like who has the most points or who has the highest score on the leaderboard. That could be a ton of fun. But if you did make units go to the hospital, I think you have to have some sort of unit rewards in this horde mode, or else speculation wise, I just don't think it's going to be worth it enough. So that was the horde mode recommendation, which is very similar to the next idea, which we'll talk about, which is going to be, and let me go ahead and get that pulled up here. The next idea, as we've talked about, is going to be invasions. This has been brought up plenty. We've talked about it before. We'll talk about it again. Thank you, Pyro, for this recommendation. Pyro is very active in the community. So, guys, if you see Pyro, make sure to go aheed and say hi. But Pyro's invasions, describing it as high-frequency spawns of faction-specific enemies. And what he's specifically looking for is a sovereign navy or reef bandit invasion. I think we can all personally relate to that right now. It'd be nice to see a little bit more navy, because people are really scrambling to rank up navy now that there is no cap, which is good to see. So I love that idea. An invasion week would be great. Maybe like a 1.25 multiplier on the SP just to celebrate the invasion. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. But that could be super fun. So that's another idea. Let me go ahead and read this out here too. Okay, Thug saying, I'd like to see a 2 PvE, 2 players versus a 10-10-6 grid enemy board, all 3 waves of it. Okay. Yeah, I love the co-op action there. Yeah, Shmeba, we'll definitely do a 2 PvE. That'd be a ton of fun. If we could do some sort of multiplayer, that'd be great. So Thug, let me pick your brain here, if that's okay. Do you think you would see do you think you're seeing like a hey, I control the right half of the board and Shmeba controls the left half of the board in terms of placing units, versus more so like, hey, we got to pop on a VC and figure out what we're going to place together. I'm assuming to be an even distribution of units. But yeah, elaborate on that a little bit. That's a fun idea. And while he's doing that, let's go ahead. People are saying, hey, let's do the boss rush event. I'm a firm believer. I think the boss rush event is going to be a once a year thing. Maybe once every 6 months, but I really think it's going to be rather close to that once a year. That's kind of my prediction on it. I'm actually shocked not as many people got the boss drops that we were talking about. I feel like it was a relatively, 3 is a lot for sure, but it wasn't anything crazy. If you didn't get a AS frag, I'm sorry about that. I know this was a really good weekend to get that. Okay, we're at 60. We're gonna be okay. Yeah, and I hear you on that. Is there like I don't think you can overdo it, but I don't know what that good middle ground is. So what would be your insight as to how often we should be doing? Hey, also, let's go to Bigfoot Country real quick. Let's go ahead and punch out this electric fence because we're almost done with that. We'll have that gameplay in the background as we're going. That's what I was thinking. Each player would get their own grid side by side your teammate. Okay. I like that. That'd even be fun for a 2v2. But we'll see how they do PvP. But man, I am so ecstatic for PvP. We're gonna see how that goes. Could be a giant cluster. Who knows? Madrona will figure it out, though. Every other boss strike or boss rush timing, I think, is fair. Okay, interesting. Okay, so this once a quarter kind of seems to be hitting the mark here. I hear y'all. I'm not sure I'm quite there with the once a quarter. But that being said, my mind could be changed. I don't know if it necessarily, quote unquote, opened the floodgates. In my personal opinion, I would give it some time. I think once a quarter is probably the bare minimum in terms of speed that they're doing it at. But with that being said, obviously I'm not John Madrona. I'm not making the game, so probably more in the once to 6 month. But I mean, my mind could be changed. I think the biggest thing in terms of my feeling on the boss rush event and how they do it and the frequency they do it is how impactful it is for PvP. Because we're getting level 70 this year. There's an Alex Madrona. There's an Alex and Andrew Madrona. But there might not be there's a James Madrona. Might not be a John Madrona just yet here. I mean, that position might still be open on the if you go to Madrona/careers on their website. Yeah, because my expectation is that we won't see a boss rush event until we at least see the Spider Wasp Queen and the Phalanx tank or the Goliath tank battles. And I in terms of PvP management and what they want to do with that, I think they should make sure that they are what's the best way to say this? I think they should make sure that they aren't kind of opening the floodgates to the more powerful people for this event. Basically, what I'm trying to say by that is I think they need to get their PvP system figured out before they do another boss rush event. But if boss drops don't become super consequential in PvP, then maybe we could change it. Yeah. I mean, if it makes you feel any better, you are definitely not alone there, Endless. I know big time boogeyman of the meta. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people are worried about it. I know that has been expressed. I know the devs are aware about that. It's kind of why I've been a little bearish on ranking up my nomads personally. Just because I know they're going to get nerfed. The nomads the nomads need to be limited, or else PvP is just going to be spam nomads. Yeah, it's just going to be spam nomads. But we'll see. I do foresee them actually doing. I think Plasma comes out as it once was, and then it gets altered. I don't think it's going to come out with alterations. That'd be my prediction, and I'm okay with that. If I did 2-player versus everyone co-op with Endless, you would just put down all troopers and let me lose my board. Hey, you got to pick your partners wisely. Just strike boss drops from PvP eligibility. Conflict. I'm not 100% opposed to that idea, but I do want to make sure that we are not taking away from the meaning of boss drops as well. They need to be there for at least PvE. Wait, if they do boss, I'm going to assume you mean rush. Boss rush event where a chosen boss or unique boss has a chance to drop a captured mid to high end nano unit. That'd be kind of cool. I like that. Now, with all these ideas too, the way that I'm thinking about it is, hey, how is Madrona gonna get money out of this? And I know that's kind of a weird thing for me to say since I don't have any financial stake in the company or anything like that. But just in terms of longevity purposes here, I'm always kind of thinking in the back of my head, hey, what's the angle here for Madrona to get some nano purchases out of it? And when it comes to like a double SP weekend, not really much, except people might be rushing steel or buying steel or rushing promotions. But when you come to like a boss rush event weekend, I can see definitely people, doing the same thing. Whether it's buying steel or gears or whatever they need to get back out on the battlefield really quick. So with new events, I do want to make sure that they are that Madrona's got a little bit of ooh, look at that right there, ladies and gentlemen. What a perfect layout for nomads. I have every boss drop except Sinister. I definitely think boss drops should be restricted in PvP or at least added to their own game mode. Interesting. So, Shmebo, you would even propose having like a ranked versus casual system. Yeah, Diamond 1 would be sweaty for this game, too. Alrighty, and once we go ahead and get this this portable fence ready for R2, we are going to go ahead and switch over and take a look at BNAP's art rankings. Yes, but like 1 frag per formation and ranked. It needs rules or else it devolves into spam. I mean, to be fair, I think this whole game emphasis on can be subject to spam. I don't think it means it has to be. Okay. But during event, heal times and premium healing centers take 4 times to heal. Oof. Yeah, that could be one. And I think the devs have been doing a good job of striking this, appealing to the free-to-play players as well. Like, by no means, I think the devs are coming in with great intentions of this game, and I'm been really happy to see that. But, you got to make a balance, and they do got to make a living. So it's just trying to strike that subtle balance of, hey, how do we make money, and how do we keep these events flowing? But all events are going to help. Keep eyes on the game, keep more people playing the game. It's always going to do something pretty gnarly for it. Okay. Ban units per season thing would be cool. Interesting. Okay. Oh, different seasons. My Battle Nations Battle Pass. I want it so bad. I don't think it will ever happen, but I'd love a Battle Nations Battle Pass. Even cosmetics, man. Cosmetics would make the world go round, but I'm sure that sounds like Reed's personal nightmare, which I understand. The Battle Nations. Yeah. I want it. I mean, who here wouldn't spend nanos on a Battle Nations Battle Pass? Even if it's like, I mean, I don't know. So in terms of rewards, I would think it's... Here's what I would have the Battle Nations Battle Pass be in terms of like rewards. You have cosmetics. You have SP and XP boosts. You have resource drops. And you also have new attacks for units. So like, let's say there's a nano attack for a unit that you haven't used yet. When you get to that tier, you unlock that nano attack for that unit. And if you've already used nanos to use it, then you get the nano equivalent of what that costs. Does that make sense? Yeah, in Conflict, honestly, just by like people playing together, I'm sure we're gonna see that happen, especially in the PV, the friendsless PvP. We'll see a lot of people like setting up their own tournaments, and it's basically when people like did their own boss strike before we actually had a boss strike. Oh, but you mean with like random matchmaking? Okay, I can see that. I can see that for sure. I'd have to, but they should keep it cheap, like 200 nanos. I would think it's probably going to be like 1,000 nanos, but you'll earn nanos back through it as well, if that makes sense. It would not be 200 nanos. I doubt it. Maybe 500. What is 1,000 nanos in terms of U.S. currency? $10 entry fee. Yeah. I could also see a variant where it's like, here's the 200 nano battle pass, and here's the... Okay, so probably let's split the diff. Let's go 400 nanos. It's an interesting way to go about it. Thug, I think... Judge, I'm pondering about this. Not Judge, sorry, Thug. I'm pondering about this. So you're saying like the battle pass comes with new missions to the game? Is that kind of like the implication? And then, but it's like a bunch of missions that are associated with it, and then you get like more lucrative missions. I guess does that make sense? Week-long mission pass, but are they temporary missions? Right? 400 nanos can be gotten with $20. Yeah, that sounds about right to me. But it could be 10. Honestly, like again, I'm not doing the market research on this. I don't know. This is me just shooting from the hip here. All right, and with that being said, those are ready for promotion, and we made a little bit of chunk on our melee frag as well. You can't hate that. Let's check how we're doing on the timer. We got 25 minutes left on the solar plant. That's good to see. Those are working well as well. All right, let's get to the next. Oh. Let's check out a little bit of a reef bandit action here. And then let's go ahead and take a look and get into all the controversy of the tier ranking of AP's guild logos. Let's see if we agree with it, disagree with it. Who do you think got robbed? Who do you think's overhyped a little bit? Let's go ahead and get into all of that. We're going to take out these reef bandits and just knock them out here first. I was hoping we could get a crit on that. Oop, wrong button. So, okay, I think we're fine there. There we go. Thank you for the steal assist. That is much appreciated. We were at 11,000. Our next one's going to be done in a little over 24 hours. That's this one right here. Yeah, so 25 hours. So we're fine on that. We'll do a 12-hour, take us through the night. Probably the sandworm. Okay. So you're saying, yeah, it would be a semi-repeatable, like a pool of 5 mission chain pass, and you only get a week, and the pass is a month long, and 4 mission chains, 1 per week. Interesting. Would they be kind of generic, like not really, I'm guessing not really like story-heavy, driven missions, just because I do want most people to have the same campaign experience. I kind of want to keep that of its own separate entity or volition there. Alrighty. Alright, let's go ahead and get the dreaded tier list pulled up. Man, DG talks a lot in the morning and in the middle of the night. Ooh, excuse me. Did he post it on his YouTube? Am I tripping here? Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find this tier list right now for y'all. Ah, here we go. Definitely not story heavy, but cameos of the story. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Alrighty, so taking a look here, this is the tier list, not by my own accord. This is from AP. of a lot of the guilds in the game right now. So he did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I thought so. Just wanted to count it out live. Looks like he did the top 20 in game for the guilds. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at it. And so on brand, we have F2W. Let's get a little zoom in here. All right, that's a little blurry. But F2W is in the A or the S tier, which is on brand. I like it. I don't know if I'm a fan of the colors, or I don't know if this screenshot is just not doing it justice. S tier seems a little heavy for me. But with that being said, I see it. I see the vision. Maybe I'm just not a fan of the colors here. That could just be me personally. That's where we're at with that. Next, we have UWU. Which I like. It's super retro, getting like 70s, 80s vibes from it. It definitely sticks out. You'll definitely recognize it. I like the recognizability of it, and I respect it. I don't know their backstory too much, but with that being said, I like it. I like that a lot. I can see why that's an S tier. I totally get it. And next up, we have GFK, and forgive me my lack of ball knowledge here. GFK, I thought would be Goodfella Kings. Okay, I thought it was Goodfella Killers. I knew it was Goodfellas, but that's where we're at with that. And they're getting an S tier. I really like theirs too. Looks very cool. I'm not trying to do too much. I respect that, and I think that is super cool. So I like what they did there. All right. Next up, we have A tier, which is really effing good. Again, these are AP's decisions, not mine, but we are taking a look at the first one. That's going to be the guild, which is a cool logo. I think I have the same complaint that I have about F2W. The colors, not my cup of tea personally. It doesn't have anything that I don't like that there's not a lot of contrast on there. Let me know if I'm wrong, if you disagree with that. Maybe I'm sure you do. I think it could use a little more pop on the colors, but a cool design. And I understand that people are very limited, given that it's a little basic right now in terms of what we have access to, but it's varied enough that these are all unique logos in and of themselves. So I like that. Next up, we have Eternal Embers. In my personal opinion, believe it or not, I don't like our guild logo. Interesting. Shmeba, what's your take on it? But yeah, Eternal Embers, I like it. I think it pops. I know they're kind of going for the dragon thing, and they had that on there. I think that's really good. I'd probably give them an S tier, honestly. That's one that I think should be in the S tier. It reads like a placeholder. Interesting. Okay, I can see that. But yeah, Eternal Embers, great. A huge fan of that. I think they did a great job with that. Kind of basic, but not crazy. That looks good. Next, we have Drop Zone. Now, I'm taking a look at these in here too. Just to get a little more of a high def vision of it. But yeah, looks good. Super basic, but I do like the colors. Could probably pop a little bit more. I'm probably gonna go B tier for it. I think it's a little. It needs a little bit more personality. But I like the colors. I like the simplicity of it. I feel like it just needs one more thing. All right. Next up, we have GFA, which is just it's simply just another version of Goodfella Kings, Goodfella Aces. I like the lion. If you're a lion person, you probably bump it up to S. Yeah, no, I agree. CU. And I'm actually get to that in a second, but yeah, Goodfellow Aces. If you like the line, that's great. I like their other one better too. I agree with that. The chest piece looks very cool to me. I like that. And yeah, so basically going off of what CU said here is B&A had an old guild logo. Let me see if I can actually. I'll find that in a bit, and then we'll compare that. I'll show what our logo looked like before logo creation was available. So we got very lucky, so we were able to do a logo that's very similar to ours, and I do really enjoy that. So I think Grand Slam in terms of replicating ours. But my favorite logo, just because I think it stands out the most, is I'm going to go to the Rebel Rejects. I love the colors on it. I think it pops super well. I get Rebel vibes, obviously, with the color scheme, like the Rebel Rejects. You know, you have the Rebel colors on there. You have what looks like a Rebel on there. You have the stars and bars behind it. Just you know, full on Rebel vibes here. So really goes on brand, really eye-catching in terms of the colors. I think that is the best one, actually. So if I were to give my S tiers right now, I would go Eternal Embers, UWU. I'm gonna omit B&A just because I'm way too partial. I mean RR, UWU, EE, and RR of the ones we've discussed. We'll talk about some movements later, but those are going to be my three for S tier. Let me know what you think down below. I'm curious about that. All right. What's up, Appa? How you doing, buddy? Next, we're on to OK Good. We got MM here, which is a gold medal. And I like it. I think it looks good. It looks a little self-patronizing, just a little bit. It's kind of funny, but it's good. I think, you know, super eye-catchy. It really just resembles a gold medal. Flashy bling, I like it. You know, good job there. We have HSC. We get a little skull and crossbones. I will say we have HSC2 right down below. I preferred the HSC over HSC2. I like the shaping and the colors there a little bit better. Next, we have the Empire. And I'm going to go ahead and bump the Empire up to A tier. Not going to put it in S tier, but I really like what they did with it. The green stripe in the middle is helpful. I'm not sure I like the direction the green stripe's going in. And maybe that's what's keeping it from an S tier for me. But yeah, that's where I stand with that. We have CN, which is Capybara Nation, and we have Cabbage Nation. There were some discussions as to who did it first. We will never know. I'm not going to judge either one. The guild logo to me, the green and yellow is going in the C tier for me personally. The colors clash way too much in my opinion on this. Green and yellow, not the best combo. Maybe if they had a darker green, it could work well with the bright yellow, but it's a lot of colors clashing right there. All right, next on to BSR. That is an automatic D tier. Horrible. No, I'm joking. Cool logo. They definitely need a banana emoji or template to use for this. And once they get that, that'll look better. But there's no banana, so it just doesn't seem like BSR to me personally. That's where I stand. Yeah. PSC, okay, good. Yeah, I think PSC needed just one more thing. I think I'm gonna stick with him in B tier. Good. Hey, buddy, it's just me. I think I'm gonna stick them in B tier. Good. Still, it feels like it's just missing one more thing from their logo. But I like the design. I do like the colors. The black and white's very suave. I like that. I'm a big fan of that. Sorry, guys. I got the dog next to me, and he's being very cute right now. All right, enough of that. Next, we have IAP. That looks a little cut off, so let me go ahead and take a look in game. All right, so we have In a Piece. Hey, buddy. I like it. We've already talked about it, but I'm partial to the chess pieces. I think that's a really cool. I think it's a really cool thing that they've done there. The orange and yellow kind of blast really well in the background on the white, so I like those colors. I'm probably at an A for it. I think good job on that. We have KRM, which is just a silver medal. They're really just going for... They need a bronze medal one for sure. But that's just a subsidiary of MM there, so nothing too much to talk about. On that one, it's fine. It's a silver medal. I mean, that's what it is. All right, next we have OG, which is the old guard. They are so old that they put the skull on their logo. No. It looks cool. I like it. I like the colors. It's not trying to be too much. I'd probably put it in B. I think C's a little low for me. And then HSC2. I like HSC. I might like the HSC2 logo better than the HSC logo. Let me go ahead and take a peek in game. Okay. HSC looks better in game, I will say. It doesn't look as good here. So yeah, I do like the HSC logo better than the HSC2 logo, but if you just take a look at this right here, just because of the way that it's displaying, it's just because of the way that it's displaying, the HSC2 logo looks better here, but in game, I believe that the HSC logo looks better. So that was fun. We're not too far apart there, and we're gonna go do a little trip, and I feel like people haven't done this in a while, but let's go take a look and see just what they got in the open guilds. You're good, buddy. All right. Bad Omens. All are welcome. Casual, whales, etc. I love seeing these guilds up. This is awesome to see right here. They got 62 players. Guys, go give Bad Omens some love. BAD. I like that. I love their guild logo. The blue, yellow, black looks really good. With the thin yellow outline. That looks great. Bad Omens. Go show them some love. All right, we got Pro BN. Faction, secondary, French. This is French. So, I'm not going to try and read all of that. But getting like Legionnaire vibes from their guild logo. So that looks really good. Those two right there would probably be S tiers for me, in all honesty. So definitely shout out Pro BN and Bad Omens. Guys, if you don't have a guild logo and you're just starting out, like Shadow Company here, y'all got 37 members. Go make a guild logo. Have some fun with it. You have Goon. Oh boy. Goodfellas Queens. They have the Queen logo right there. We have Tequila Row. That one needs some work, in my opinion. I like where you're going with it, but it's a little too dark. I look like I'm looking at a depth. Oh! Battle Nations Army. If you want to join Battle Nations Army, that's great. We have Subcorp. For now, I have one, but soon we will be legions. We must protect the world against the rebels, as did our duties given by the Empire. All hail the Empire. Glory to the Empire. Super cool guild logo. I like that. That looks awesome. Go give them some love. That's great. Yeah, join BNA though. Join BNA. But I like to give props to the smaller ones here. That's another great one right there. Nice. Good to see all of these. Morgan's Distillery. Sister Guild to Ramsey's Barbecue Shack and Perkins Book Club. I love that. That's a ton of fun. All right, guys. Yeah, make sure to go check out those other guilds. I hope to see some of those in the top 20. You know, as we progress here. All right, what are we looking at? We got 6 minutes left on there. No boss drop. That would have been really cool to get a Clad live. We haven't gotten a boss drop yet live on air. It's quite unfortunate there. All right, let's wind down here for the evening. Let's knock out a couple naval. But that was a fun time. I really like seeing all those designs. Fun time to go kind of pay tribute to all of those. Oh, I'm gonna need to take out this buoy. Oof. Ooh, please don't die. All right, and we lived. The fish lived. There we go. That's 55 steel. Just hunting steel at this point. I don't know why it has to be doing all of that, but there we go. Please stop targeting the fish. That'd be great. Let's restart that. Let's give that another go. Hate to see it. Absolutely hate to see it. Oh my goodness. All right, I think we can afford that. Let's get this cross-section attack done one more time. Yeah, there we go. Just need to get some steel too, and that SP. So my question for y'all is what day should I stop fighting naval encounters to make sure like we have a full slate ready to go for double SP weekend? Has there been a consensus on that yet? Yeah, Viva! Oh yeah. What's up, A6? How you doing? Check the trade routes here. Trade routes fully spawned. This spawned rather quickly, actually. These ironclads make it so easy. I know there are people that don't have it, and with that, I'm sorry, but it is really just helped make any of these fights so much easier. And really, it wasn't taking too much. It's not taking too much SP. I feel like it takes a full day for the naval counters to be back. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning the same thing. Ooh, not getting lucky on the hits here. Yeah, the Clads don't have great anti-air, at least not compared to some of the other units. Naval units, should I say. Wow, kind of a weak attack there from the guy. At least they have anti-air. That's true. It's a hot take to say that free-to-play shouldn't include boss strike units or boss drops. Yeah, that is a hot take. That's a very hot take. I definitely disagree with that. You can absolutely be free-to-play and still have boss strike units and boss drops. You can say you're not a noob. No, that's I'm not saying you're a noob if you don't have boss drops or boss strike units. Not what I was saying, but you can definitely still be free to play. But I feel like the purpose of free-to-play content is to help people without those things. Yeah. Yeah, it somewhat is, but it's also not. It's also it's helping them get those things because those are achievable things to free-to-play players, right? We want the like for the health of the game, we want all the free-to-play players to get these boss drops and to get these boss strike units. We want all of them to have access to it because it only helps them grow. And a good free-to-play community will also spawn a good pay-to-win community. And this game is, I think, is pretty good on the pay-to-win community right now. So we're all good there. But he's saying, I draw the line at anything for anything that needs nanos. See, I even wouldn't. I think you can be free to play and still spend nanos because you get the nanos in game too. Obviously, very limited, but you know, like I would have recommended that a free to play player gets 2 vets to help with the ancient sentinel. You can be free to play player and still get nano units, and maybe that's way too liberal with that, but you need a different term for them, to be honest. I hate watching people make free-to-play guides and it's using a Sentinel frag. I don't think guides for what? Like, yeah, if you do a quote-unquote free-to-play guide and it's just all boss drop units, that's insane. That wouldn't even be a pay-to-win guide. That's just a really shitty guide. All right, this is a little bit of an interesting one here. Probably should have put a baby grouper down, but oh well, we're good. What do you mean it's worse when it's innocent too? It's not it. You know what you were doing if you're putting all that down. Okay, if you make a boss strike formation, you can say, hey, and if you have this unit, here's the formation that I would use. But if you're only making it, you know what I mean. Like it's definitely worth talking about it. Yeah, we do. I am literally, yeah. That is a great analysis there. Oh, bing bong. There we go. Oh, we are so close. I really want to hit the next prestige tonight so I can start building the next house, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah, because we're not collecting Suburbans again. That's unfortunate. How are we doing on steel? Good on steel. We'll pop a 7-hour tonight. Get some coal back. Dangerously low on coal. That's been a whole issue. I'm gonna. Yeah, it sucks not having it every day. It is really hard to go from that to back to this, but I do think casual. Yeah. Casual is probably a better way to say it. Or yeah, it doesn't have to be strictly no, but just limited. Totally get that. Guys, a little bit of a programming update, just a scheduling update here while I have y'all. Next week we will have no stream. Might pop on this Sunday for the 2x SP for a little bit, so maybe expect a Sunday stream. But next Tuesday, June the 2nd, we will not be having a stream. I'll be traveling for work. Got a busy June coming up here. And then June 9th, we'll be good to go. We'll have a stream. No worries there. June 16th, we will also not have a stream. So I'll make an announcement about this, make a post, but June 2nd and June 16th, we will not be having a stream. And then when we get back on June 23rd, we should see a revamped live stream setup as well. I've been doing a little bit of work in the background. We're going to be making some adjustments to the live stream presentation. I'm working on it. See you and people who are better at tech than I am. I might call on you for help, but that's just a side project that's going on in the background. So on June 22nd, bear with me if that is a technological disaster of a stream. But just a little scheduling program, just as we have a little bit of a busy travel schedule coming up here in June. But we'll be back to normal going forward after that. But I think free-to-play added score should be no nano, no boss drop, no PS reward. So everyone can following the guide. Of course, people have nano units so they can sub them in. Yeah, and what I like to kind of to play off of that too is, if people are quote-unquote free-to-play, which means they're not spending money, we have a general idea or calculation as to how many nanos they're able to get, given that there aren't a lot of nano events right now. So with that knowledge, it's helpful to advise free-to-play players on where they should spend their nanos. So I'm a big advocate of that. Like, hey, if you're not spending like any money on the game, this is what you should be going for. I'm not even coping. You almost have all the drops, Schmabo. Not all of them. It still makes me mad because I have friends who play casually and haven't been lucky with bosses, and most content isn't applicable to them. Would you say that the boss... I would say the content's applicable. There's a lot of missions in the game right now. Like, the campaign is pretty massive. There's more content than there's a lot of content in the game right now, I will say. Like, if you just start the game right... look how... not to toot my own horn, but look how massive this base is, right? There are way better bases than mine. I think my base is pretty good, though, in terms of aesthetically pleasing. But we're going to get it trimmed up. We're going to do some trimming over the summer months here. But yeah, there's a lot of content. There's a lot of content in the game right now, especially if you're just joining on. I know people say that the first 30 levels drag, but I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Keep in mind that a casual free-to-play might spend their nanos on things they just think look cool. Shmebo, I hate to break it to you, but pay-to-win people also spend their money on things that look cool. We are all a little bit guilty of that. All jokes. Yeah, but we don't know where they allocated those nanos. And once they're spent, it's too late. So you can't really assume. Yeah, nope, that's fair. That's fair. It was me who had to help them make formations for Boss Strikes 1 and 2. Yeah, that's true. People for Boss Strikes 1 and Boss Strike 1 was fine. Those good recommendations there. But Boss Strike 2 was Boss Strike 2 was people needed some formation help. I also needed some formation help. So feel that. Pay-to-win players can get and I would love to see we all know what Battle Nations need to do. They need to bring that starter package back. Like, hey, if you just start the game, you can get this, like, what was it, the mini mega tank or something, and these nanos, and like here's a little boost on resources. That's a good starter in like its bonus nanos too. I don't know if y'all remember the starter pack for the game, but it's not free to play, but that's the wrong term. Shmebo is right. We want to call it something else. No, I think Shmebo is right. Supreme mini tank. Yes, dude. I'm so that was a super cool unit, and I will spend money to get that if needed. Alrighty, guys. I think that's gonna come to it for a conclusion for tonight. It's been a really fun stream. I've had a great time today. Won't see you next week. Maybe see you Sunday. But yeah, keep in mind that schedule. I'll post it online. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Got a little bit of wedding planning I got to do tonight, so we're gonna go ahead and get on to it. But with that, everyone have a great evening. Have a great time. Really enjoy the double SP week. You don't burn yourself out. And we'll talk with you then. Good evening, y'all. Have a good one.